Okay, doctorarjaybe here, and I wanted to talk about some fitness myths. I mean, you can be sold, a bunch of goods that are not true. Um, when you see this guy who's this huge man with muscles all over his body, and he's saying, "You just do this program, and you're going to put on so much muscle, you'll be great." You're looking at a guy who probably is using steroids. There's the rule is if the guy's shoulders are bigger than his head, he's probably on steroids. So you get this guy with these huge, massive shoulders and muscles all over his body. Most likely he's on steroids. And he's telling you to take a program and not use steroids, and you're going to develop muscles like his. No, no, you're not. You're not going to do that. So stop believing it, okay? It's not going to happen. Now, the other thing, with this is that, these guys taking their own risks because they're using their steroids, doing things, and more than likely, the guy who's selling you this program, who's uses steroids, probably didn't use that program to get where he got. Bodybuilders use certain techniques to make their muscles so big. And it's not the kind of programs that you can sell online. They're usually, you know, uh, the programs that they use are usually very, very tough, put a lot of stress on the body, and the average individual would have a hard time doing it. So they can't sell that stuff. So they sell you something that works for the average man. Now, another big myth along the same line is the guys who say that you can make 20 pounds, 30 pounds in just a month of time. Every so often, I'll actually put in Google 30 pounds in 1 month just to see what they're talking about, and it's always pretty funny. But basically, the problem with it is that the body just doesn't put down protein that fast. If I cut my hand it's going to take 8 weeks for that cut to be well healed. For it they're completely healed, for it to knit together so that it's sturdy, it's going to take 2 months. So if I can't put down this much, tissue in my cut hand, how do you expect to put on 30 pounds of muscle all over your body? I mean, this much scar is not 30 pounds, but that's how slow things go in the body. If you've got to get into condition, it's going to take you a couple of months. If you have to heal anything, it's going to take a couple of months. Just you got to be realistic about some of these claims. Um, the other thing is that, it's possible to put on 30 pounds of fat. It's possible to put on 30 pounds of fluid retention. But 30 pounds of true muscle, probably not going to happen. Now, the last myth that I wanted to talk about is something that I've seen from patients and people online. And that's the idea that it doesn't matter how fat you are as long as it's all muscle. Um, and that the BMI is worthless for somebody who is muscular. So the guy says, okay, if you're 280 pounds of muscle, then it's okay because it's all muscle. But as long as it's not 280 pounds of fat. Well, realistically, if you're 5'8" and you're 280 pounds, you're too fat. I don't care what it is. Um, you can call it muscle if you want. It probably isn't all muscle, but you can call it whatever you want. But one way or the other, you're still too fat. Um, Now, if you're a 7 foot tall basketball player and you're 280 pounds, you probably are really good shape. But 5'8" average man, and you're 280 pounds, I'm sorry, you're overweight, you're fat, whatever you want to call it, obese. I don't care if you think it's all muscle. One thing is, if you took that muscle, let's say we took your thigh and you took a picture of it with an MRI scan, um, what you would see is a muscle that was filled with fat. So just like, you can have filet mignon, which is streaked with fats. You can have, Wagyu beef, Like the Japanese have Wagyu beef, and it's all full of fats. But you can also have muscles in humans that are full of fats. And so it doesn't show on the outside underneath the skin, but it's within the muscle. And so it's not like round steak. It's more like I said, like Wagyu beef or filet mignon, which is all full of fats. So, that's one of the reasons why, some of these people who think that they're all full of muscle probably have a lot of fat and they just don't know it. Okay, so that's a couple of the myths for the fitness industry, and hope you like the video. Try some of the other videos that I have out there.